Okay, you're at the Watchmen Way, March 29th, 2020. Let's see. Skype seems to be down. Is this a precursor to 10 days of darkness? We'll see. Um, for those of you who don't know, approximately the 1st of April, the rumor is that we're going to get our 10 days of darkness that Q's been talking about. And it looks like um, cell phone, internet, TV, radio is going to be shut down. The only communication supposedly is going to be from POTUS through the emergency broadcast system they set up last year through cell phones. All good, nothing to worry about. There's a possibility there might be some intermittent power outages. I don't think they're going to turn the power out for 10 days. That would create a whole nother set of problems that just, yeah, we got to have water. People can't go 10 days without water. So, and then you got all the sanitation issues. So I think, power should stay on. If you can get walkie-talkies to communicate with your neighbors, maybe that are close, those things have a pretty good range depending on where you're at. Um, it's worth a shot. I know we've got, I think, enough for the whole neighborhood. Um, uh, Bull Pony. I posted an interview today with Greg Hunter. And, if you've been following this guy for the last, year and a half, he's been pretty much dead on. As close as anybody I've ever seen for this length of time. And he's saying that the markets are pretty much done by the third week in April. That we're going to see another big, the final, well, I shouldn't say the final, because he's saying that from the third week in April, and he's kind of saying the same thing I'm saying, close, that by that week sometime, maybe, to the end of the month, it's going to be like below 15,000. I think below 12. And then Greg Nenner, who Greg Hunter had on last week, was saying he thinks the stock market's going to go down to 5,000. My low is 6, is what I think it'll go down to at the low. And they're saying it's going to be a continual decline until like 2020, a couple of years out at least. It's going to be a steady decline. I think a big drop and then just kind of a downhill. Nobody's going to want to put their money in the stock market. You're going to have cryptos to invest in. It makes a lot more sense and it's a lot more honest than the stock market. Just look at all these criminal politicians getting nailed for buying or dumping stock right before the virus collapse. It's been going on forever. Would you play in a crooked game of poker? I wouldn't. Crazy. German finance minister commits suicide. There's conflicting reports. Some say he was just devastated about the financial condition of Germany and the coronavirus effects. Well, he knows damn good and well the coronavirus has nothing to do with this. They were going down anyway. Deutsche Bank was, on one foot on the grave, one foot in a banana peel. They're going down any time. They could take, well, probably will take the whole world down with them. I was just talking to somebody today. There's a big misconception here that that we have some control over this thing. And we do have some control, but people tend to think that, oh, well, we can just steer this thing however we want. This thing is out of control. They're hurting it at best, right, to get it to go in the way they want it to. But it's too big. They can't control this, and it's too far gone. So I think the target is to take this thing down. Well, listen, think about this. We've talked about the 10 days of darkness. The most likely, I mean, is it just about the economy? Are they just trying to destroy the economy? I don't think so. I think they're going to do everything at once, which means that means taking the economy down, possibly the reset in the month of April. Basically, you could have the 10 days, the takedown of the swamp, the collapsing of the economy, and the reset, all in April. Pretty ambitious. I've been saying though that the swamp takedown and the economic collapse is going to be probably a 2-week period, because from the swamp being announced as being taken down and the economy officially collapsing, it's not going to take more than 2 weeks after they arrest Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama for the economy to tank as weak as it is right now. Maybe 24 hours it's done. So I think at best they're just trying to manage it the best they can, because like I said, there's no controlling it. It's out of control. You can't, world record debt. I mean, this is no joke. We've talked about, printing more money, but again, that leads to hyperinflation. So we'll see how it plays out. If we don't get the 10 days of darkness, the 1st of April, listen, just watch to see what happens in the next 30 days. Between now and the end of April, just watch to see what happens. Q has always said there will be disinformation. So could it be disinformation about the 10 days? I've heard another. I don't know if it was from an anon or from Q, but basically saying, well, we can't expect too much and expect that something big's going to happen by Easter, and kind of like saying, well, it was probably not going to happen, was the kind of way I took it. But again, disinformation. Maybe that's what they're trying to get the black hats to think, the swamp to think, that this is just a fake out. This 10 days of darkness is just a fake out. We'll see. I think we're going to know something. I don't see the economy getting to the end of April. Bo Pony's been pretty dead on, and I just don't know how they can drag this out much longer. It's desperate. Anybody that's telling you that this is going to come back, or buy the dip, smack them upside the head, because they're trying to get you to make a really bad decision for your family. Buy physical silver and Litecoin. This is a gift from God. We know what's coming, and we know the antidote. I mean, what more do you want? Silver and Litecoin, by the end of the year, it'll be one of the best investments you ever made. And by the end of 2 or 3 years, crazy money. It's coming. De Blasio, listen to this now. New York Mayor de Blasio, he's closing churches and synagogues, but does not mention mosque. Can you imagine if they close churches and synagogues and leave the mosque open? Oh, there better be outrage in New York if that happens. Talk about racism. Talking about our right to religion. You can't do that. You can't say it's, oh, well, because we're afraid maybe that we're going to get some pushback. Tough shit. Shut them down. You're going to shut one down, you've got to shut them all down. And you can't be, and it's not really intimidation. They want to do it. You know, they want to rub our noses in that crap because they're all globalists, and that's just part of the globalist agenda. You know, the religious war between Christianity and the Muslims. They've been pushing it for, well, they've been setting it up since the Second World War. You know, I would think Israel's about. Create the friction, you know, keep agitating, keep pushing, keep dividing and conquering. It's a globalist. From day one, it's their game plan. So, and remember, when this starts, it's going to be like a switch flipping, because when it finally goes, whatever that final trigger is, you know, within an hour maybe, they won't be selling silver or Litecoin or cryptos or gold, because the rush is going to be on. It's been going up so fast, the dealers, I think, will shut it down because they're not going to want to run their stock out. They're going to want to wait to see where it goes price-wise. Just common sense. Good business. You do the same thing. I would. And the problem with that is, who knows when that's going to be? It could be days or weeks. What's the price going to be when you can finally buy it again? I had this discussion with a member this afternoon. You know, don't play chicken with this thing. Listen, this is going to be a huge, whether it's silver or whether it's Litecoin, it's going to be a huge return on investment. Don't, you know, play games and trying to get it down a little bit more and then lose out on everything. Because this could go down any day now. Again, I don't think they want it to go down. I don't think President Trump wants it to go down yet. He wants it to go down, but I think he wants a couple more weeks here. Doesn't mean he's going to get it. You know, as soon as the deep state figures out what he wants, they'll be trying to crash it earlier. I think the deep state is befuddled right now. I think they got fooled by the virus. I think they're just now starting to figure out, oh crap, they screwed them. It's not what they thought it was. The deep state thought this was a much more dangerous strain that was being released. I think the Chinese set them up. I think this whole thing, President Trump and China and probably Russia were working together on this, on the whole thing, on the release of it, and what they released, it wasn't the real thing. There's been a little bit of shift, if you really look closely, on the push for the mainstream to drive the collapse, and it seems like they've backed off a little bit on that. And I think what happened is, they don't really want this to collapse yet. So we'll see how it plays out. Again, I don't think it makes it to the end of the month. This is still the flu, guys. There's nothing to fear from this thing. Just look at the mortality rates. And we're on track. You know, don't get too tied up in the timeline that it has to exactly happen on, it's going to shut things down on the 1st, it's going to be 10 days. I think it's fluid. So don't get discouraged if it doesn't get shut down on the 1st. It's happening. There's no denying. Listen, they don't shut down the world economy for nothing. You know, and the reason isn't the flu, if you haven't figured that out yet. So if it's not the flu, and it's not, because just look at the mortality rate, look at the numbers, What could it be? Well, we know what it is. Economy, swamp, pedos. That's the only thing that's left, really. So be prepared. Don't procrastinate. Get your buys in now because you don't know when this is going to go down. I said I'd talk a little bit more about. Oh, and by the way, I think so. So this German, yeah. So we talked about the finance minister in Germany. There's going to be a lot more of these coming. I think a lot more. There's either going to be people committing suicide or people dying from the virus. I think is what's going to happen here. And when they're saying they're dying from the virus, they're not really dying from the virus. They're probably dying from suicide or being murdered or executed. See how that plays out. Q predicted this. Cliff High predicted this 5 years ago. Said that when this time came, there would be a lot of public officials committing suicide. So Litecoin, cryptos. Cryptocurrencies are the future of money. I believe Litecoin, it's in the top 3 coins in the world, and I think there are over 2,000 cryptocurrencies now. God showed me physical silver and Litecoin, and He showed them to me for a reason. And all of my research, over 25,000 hours over the last 5+ years, 5.5 years, whatever, points in the same direction. Huge return on investment. When I've been told we're at the greatest transfer of wealth in human history. So it all ties in. There are 84 million Litecoin total in the world. 84 million. There's 7.5 billion people in the world. And approximately 64 million of these Litecoin have already been sold. So there's only about 20 million left. We saw what happened with toilet paper. Now this is toilet paper. What do you think is going to happen when something like Litecoin and silver, when they realize what they need, and what they need is assets outside the system, and those assets are, for sure, Litecoin and silver, gold, and there's, of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum. But just think what's going to happen then. When you got 7.5 billion people rushing for the same things. And they're in limited supply because the precious metal markets are tapped. They're out. I mean, you can still get it, but as far as a rush coming on, they're done in a couple of hours. Like I said, in a couple of hours they will be closed. And again, the same with the exchanges, because it's going to be $1,000 probably. Well, for sure. Well, I think within 3 months of the collapse. So, let's see, April, like in the middle of summertime, sometime July, maybe. And then I think there's a chance. They're saying 300,000 for Bitcoin. Well, we know Litecoin is going to come out around 25% when it's all said and done of what Bitcoin is. Litecoin will be 25% of what Bitcoin is, according to analysts. I think actually, in the long run, I think Litecoin is going to surpass Bitcoin in price because I think it's more versatile, and I think that's what's going to drive the price on it over Bitcoin. Bitcoin is definitely, as far as security, and there's a lot of things in Bitcoin, but as a means of settling trade, Litecoin, I think, is the one that's going to be adopted by countries, maybe. And that would be huge. And also places like Amazon are perfect for Litecoin. So we'll see how it plays out. But there's a reason God showed it to me, and when you look at now over the last 5 years, what most of the experts are saying, they're agreeing. I mean, almost to a man, Litecoin is in like the top two of what they think is going to be the highest performing cryptos. So, uh, so get it. Get it if you have a major bank, you can still get it through Coinbase. So we have two exchanges now we're recommending. Our long term is Coinbase. That's what I use, what I've used since day one. But it's been challenging this last few weeks because of the crunch. They haven't been able to keep up. They're much bigger than Gemini. There's good and there's bad to that. Good when things get tight because they'll probably outlast Gemini, but bad because they're so busy and they just can't keep up. I think it's like a 15-day turnaround to get your coins, and I think it's 48 hours. It's either 2 or 3 days at Gemini, and you don't have the restrictions on banking. You can open an account at Gemini with really any bank or even a credit card, I think. So it's much easier to get an account open with Gemini. So if you're a new person, I think Gemini is probably the way to go. And if you're not, like I said, if you have Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, or Citibank, you can open an account with Coinbase. But it's a lot more complicated. You and there's the delays. So I would probably recommend Gemini. Just order your Ledger Nano S. That's your hard wallet. Um, you have the option. You can leave your coins in Coinbase, but if Coinbase were to go belly up, your coins are probably going to be gone, just like your dollars in a bank. Um, that's why you want them out and into your ledger, because once they're in your ledger, nobody's getting them unless they get your passwords. If you bought your ledger from Ledger, you should be in good shape. Um, as far security wise, much more secure than your bank account is. Trust me. Maybe hundreds of times more secure than your bank account. Um, so Gemini, Litecoin, Ledger, and it's the Ledger Nano S as in Sam. Now there's been some conversation about the Ledger also makes the Ledger Nano X, as in X-ray. Um, I think it's more money. Number one, we know that the Ledger works for both Gemini. The Ledger Nano S works for both Gemini and Coinbase. So if you're gonna you get the Ledger Nano S, don't get the X. Um, like I said, it's less money. We actually have a code also. I think it saves you like 20%. I think it's on the pages and the website, I believe. Get a hold of me if you can't find it. Um, so some analysts believe Litecoin is going to be 3 million by 2024. I think that number is conservative. When you look at, like I said, the supply and demand and the situation, it's a perfect storm for this stuff to go through the roof. So, I'm recommending splitting whatever your investment's going to be 50-50, silver to Litecoin. Um, you want several $100s, $300 to $500 in silver. You want 300 to 500 of that, whatever you're going to put in silver. Uh, in the junk silver, go to the junk silver tab. Go to 90% silver dimes. Those are going to be Roosevelt dimes. Oh God. You'll come to me. Um, Anyway, $300 to $500 worth of 90% dimes, and then the rest in 1 ounce rounds or bars, 1 ounce rounds or bars that are 999 silver. They're coming from the mint. They're brand new. Um, Whatever the rest of your silver buy is, buy the 1 ounce pieces. Whatever's least expensive, do not pay for the premium coins. It's a waste of money. Whatever the cheapest thing out the door that they have in stock, because you don't want something that's on back order because you don't know when you're going to get it. So cheapest they have in stock, 1 ounce bars or coins. 1 ounce. Then then the rest in your whatever your Litecoin or crypto buy is going to be a Litecoin. And buy it in dollars, because there's been some confusion about trying to buy the coin. Just buy it in dollars. It's the easiest way to do it. You want to invest 500, okay, I'm putting 500 into Litecoin. Boom. They tell you how many you bought for that $500. Simple. It goes into your account or your wallet, whatever you're doing. Anybody has any questions, put them in now and I'll hit them before the end. And then silver, you want silver over gold. Silver will outperform gold at least 10 times. The historical ratio for silver to gold is 10 to 1. For 5,000 years, basically, it's been 10 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold. That's how it comes out of the ground. Makes sense. Well, it was running, a couple of years ago, it was 85 to 1. And now it's over 100 to 1. 100 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold. The prices have been heavily manipulated. I mean, they busted, 3 or 4 traders from Chase, convicted of price manipulation. The whole crew should be in jail. When that manipulation ends, it's going to go back to its natural historical ratio, 10 to 1. Well, you know what that means? Just look what gold is now. It's like 1650 or something. That makes silver like 165 an ounce, like immediately, as soon as everything blows up. And then when they talk about gold-backed currencies, they got to revalue gold. And there's been several experts, gold market experts, based on what they believe is the available gold in the world and the currency in the world, that when they come out with this new system, that they're going to revalue gold between 50 and 85,000 an ounce. Well, now silver's at $5,000, and this could be by this summer, depending on how all this goes, because it all depends on the reset, I think. And if they go, well, just think, if they go on the timetable that the QAnons put out, that the gold-backed currency would be released at the end of April. Well, if the gold-backed currency is released and they have to revalue the revalue gold, then it's not going to be long, weeks, couple of weeks, or days even, maybe, before silver finds its new price, its fair market value. The markets are going to be clean in our next system. Somebody asked today, well, why do they have to collapse the economy? Because they have to clean this crap out. You can't fix this. It's like you just got to burn it to the ground and start over. That's what's happening here. Because it was so manipulated, so corrupted. These guys couldn't figure it out. It'd take them 10 years. And then they still couldn't get it done. $1 quadrillion in derivatives. Worldwide record debt. You can't fix this. You can't put up, it ain't happening. It's over. It's a mathematical certainty. The economy is collapsing. So they're trying to give it a soft as landing as they can. I think that's what's going on here. And that's why I think they're going to do the reset and not let it collapse organically, unless it happens this week. Um, Again, I think President Trump wants the best for the American people, and I think a reset and hitting the ground running after that is a lot better than a crash landing and then trying to fix your plane to get it back in the air, because that could take, I always expect a year to 2 years recovery. Well, if he declares a reset, we could be back up and running. And he's got a plan, like they've talked about, a program where you're going to get back a portion of what you paid into Social Security as like seed money. So in other words, if they wipe everything out, they're going to be, most people are going to have nothing because their bank account's gone, their credit cards are gone. Stocks and bonds, they'll probably have no liquid assets. That's a problem if you want to get the economy running again, right? Well, if they give everybody a percentage of what they paid into Social Security, of course, older people get more, younger people get less. That could be a way that we could get this ramped up and maybe in 6 months be back to normal. Now, that's if everything goes perfect. But hey, don't question President Trump. I think I told the story about, his winning story, about us getting tired of winning, and I'm just cringing, thinking that can't happen. And then look it's happened. I mean, he has been 10 steps ahead of these people the whole way. Brilliant. I mean, again, I can't say enough. Amazing stuff. Also, the charts for this this collapse we're talking about, the third week in April. You can go to, I think it's Gold 2020 for these charts. That's Bull Pony's webpage, or it's Greg Hunter's, which is what's his? I can't think of the name of his show, but you can just go to Greg Hunter, and it'll take you to what you need to find. On his webpage, they've got this this chart that shows the third weekend, and it shows actually the whole thing. And you can see how accurate he's been. It's eerie how he's got this thing dialed in. It's a cycle thing. Pretty accurate. He had a rough patch a couple of years ago, but like I say, from a year and a half to now, there's nobody that's been more accurate than he has. Nobody's even close that I know of. More evidence that China's lying about the virus. And again, this is hype in the news, right? There are twice the urns missing than the death toll. Okay, thanks. Thanks for that, mainstream media. Okay, it's just they're trying to gin it up again, it seems like, right? To scare everybody. It's the flu. Yeah, I'm not buying it. Yeah. Comex, who basically runs the phony paper silver market. No gold. Yeah. Liquidity is gone. Yeah, physical crunch. And don't buy paper. It's worthless. Don't waste your money. The virus outbreak infects 66. Now look at the number. 66 at a Maryland nursing home. Wow. And this is how the deep state works, guys. They're telling the mainstream what to report. And who knows, it might be 80 for all we know, but they want to see 66, so that's what they put in. Let's see. Yeah, I never experienced anything like this. Oh, yeah, the restaurant industry. Never. History have they experienced anything like this. 3% of the restaurants in the country have already closed. Not just closed for the virus. They're closed. They're done. They're closing for good. That's 3%. And what's it going to be in another 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Dropping like flies, guys. Here's another one. Some French officials are saying maybe they should enforce a quarantine in refugee areas to avoid violence and rioting. No, actually, you should enforce it. I mean, really? How do you explain that to your people? That you're going to let refugees run wild, and when you're claiming that they can infect you, it's okay for them because you don't want to ruffle their feathers. I hope God intervenes there because I was seeing a really bloody civil war in the EU if God doesn't step in. Because we know the EU is a globalist government. This is what they want. They want that war. And, I think unless God steps in, they may get it. I think it just runs its course. That's why we're so lucky to have President Trump. Because he's not playing the game by globalist rules. He's playing it by the right rules. He's our president. He should have our best interest at heart, not globalism or the corporate world. Yeah, our system was hijacked, guys. It was almost stolen away from us with money. Big money from big business. Oh, and then, POTUS now says he doesn't see it necessary to quarantine New Jersey, New York, and Connecticut. Let's see how that plays out over the next couple of weeks. U.S. death toll tops 2,000. It's a flu. Oh, people responsible for the world's food supply are getting the virus. They might be the same people that are also guilty of torturing and murdering children. We'll see how that plays out. I expect a lot of people on our pedo list to get the virus and die because of it. Yeah, probably the Pope, probably the Queen, maybe Mike Pence. Okay, what do we got for questions? Get them in, guys. Crypto questions, silver questions. Do not take a wallet from someone else, Danielle. You get your own wallet or get your Lite or Coinbase account. Well, whatever. We'll talk about that. Raina, how you doing? Tessie. So, listen, guys. I'm glad this came up. About 2 to 3 years ago, a guy who had bought Bitcoin really cheap, thank God, bought a wallet on eBay, I think. Oh man, he saved 50%. He was thrilled. He saved $50. 2 months later, they went in and stole all of his Bitcoin. I think it was over $1 million worth because they had the seed code. Yeah, they sold him the wallet and kept the seed code. Now, why would you buy or accept a used wallet? You do not ever, because you don't know where it came from. Forget it. That's to try and save $50 when you have millions to protect. Is it the brightest move? So buy a new wallet. Buy it directly from Ledger. The second option would be from Amazon. I don't even recommend that. Just buy from Ledger. If it's an extra day, it's an extra day. So what? We've got an extra day. Security is key with this stuff, guys. Because trust me, nobody cares right now. You're not going to have a lot of hackers after you for 25 Litecoin at today's prices. But when it's $3 million, everybody's going to watch your your seed code. Trust me. Okay. Jesse, what's up? No, Danielle. No. Ledger Nano S. Just drop it. Pam, how you doing? Randy. Okay. We're gonna have a big discussion after this chat. Paula, how you doing? I'm not sure what you're asking there, Tessie, but I can tell you that those two ships are going to be loaded up with prisoners that are going to be headed to Gitmo. Kelly, how you doing? Brian, what's up? Well, I don't know. Here the skies when the skies are clear, they're clear as a bell. But we're raining here for a couple of days now. So, and I just talked to somebody in Ohio that said it was a clear, beautiful day there too. Clear and beautiful in Arizona, according to Paula. Mexican silver's okay, Rita, but you don't know what you're getting. So I don't even know what they give you for it. If as a last resort and that's all you can get, yeah, get what you can get. But I would much rather see you get dimes or 1 ounce rounds or bars. Natalie, how you doing? Brother Dale, what's up? Patrick, who knows? I wouldn't put it past China. My brother thinks that China executed the coronavirus victims. Who knows? William, what's up? Darren, yes, Darren, that's what those ships are for. Those ships, they're going to load them up with Gitmo prisoners. Randy's late again, but he bought 3 more Litecoins, so you're excused, Randy. Cousin Monica, what's up? Bitcoin by the end of this year, they say. There's some analysts. We'll see. I listen. All bets are off. When this thing blows up, there's no telling where it's going to end up. There's no telling where any of it's going to end up. This has never happened before. So we've got a convergence of all of these things happening at the exact same time in history. It could be like a nuclear bomb going off as far as the prices go. And that's why I keep saying you guys are worried about going up a couple of bucks here and there a day, up one day, down the next. Forget that's irrelevant. Wait until the economy crashes. That's when you're going to see prices move. Chad, how you doing? There's a coupon code for the Ledger guys, I think. 2024, they say Litecoin will be worth $3 million. That's what one analyst said. I believe that number's conservative. Oh, and yeah, this is a good one from Teddy. When you buy the Ledger, get the cable kit for your cell. That way you can use it. I wish I would have done it. I gotta go buy it at Best Buy or someplace. Michelle, how you doing? Cindy Lou, what's up? Cody. No, you do not need your wallet first. Get your Litecoin. That's the most important thing. Wallet is secondary. They're saying order takes about a week. We got a week. Eric, what's up? Rusty, what's going on? Tessie. Tessie's got hubby watching. How you doing, hubby? John, what's up? Mark. Don. Gary. How's the Northeast? Yeah, we're getting members from all over the world. I'll bet you we're in 50 countries now, I think. Gary's been playing Gary's been playing cards with his folks. Uh they're hauling people out of New York City in refrigerated trailers? What? Come on, Gary. What's going on there? You got to have more than that. I didn't see that today. I mean, why would that be? Jessica, what's up? Pinochle. Pinochle? We've got all the card games out. Spades, gin rummy. How about no limit? Texas Hold'em. Social distancing has been extended to April 30th by President Trump today. Justin's asking about moving the last few coins into his ledger. My guess is that they haven't cleared yet. So, in other words, when you buy coins, they'll show up in your wallet or show up in your account dollar wise right away. But there's usually a hold of several days before they're cleared to leave the system. So they want to make sure that your payment is 100% in, no problems, no issues. Then they'll release the coin. So that's my guess as to why. Kathleen's saying there are 5 people at Montgomery Nursing Home near her with the virus. All the aides quit. They're begging for help. It's a 100-bed facility. That's what we're looking at, guys. This hysteria, there's going to be a backlash to it. It has to happen. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you. Patricia's asking about the country singer Joe Diffie. I don't think so. I never heard anything about it, but we'll know. They're going to tell us. Yeah, it's 1 week. Mark got his in a week too. Ledger Nano S. Susan, how's it going? Amanda, how you doing? Joyce is asking about the Eagle coins. They're a waste, guys. Don't waste your money. Buy there's what is it, $5 or $10 cheaper for the generics? You're never gonna get that money back. You're better to buy a half of another coin or a third of another coin. Yeah, don't pay for the premium coins, guys. It's a waste of money. Yeah, futures, well, are they down 900? They were down 315 before I came on. Wow. Are you sure, Gary? Are you sure that's the futures and that's not Fridays? Double check that, will you, if you're still on? That's big if it's down 900 already, guys. Um, it could be a big day tomorrow. Hello, Michelle. Brother Dale says it's windy in Indiana. Got shut down today. Yeah, don't want it to roll over. Jane, how you doing? Perfect storm brewing for sure. Benny, what's up? Rebecca, how's it going? Yeah, listen, guys, remember, POTUS is playing a role. Take everything he says with a grain of salt right now. You're not going to know where he truly stands until the swamp draining is over. When we get on the other side of this, then we're going to know what he really feels. Because now he's playing a role to get through this game, this takedown. Trevor, what's up? Ben, I can't imagine why they'd be hauling them in refrigeration trucks. Unless they've got really high fevers and they're critical. I mean, I don't know. Gary hit quad aces playing Texas Hold'em. Quad aces, good one, Gary. I've had quads a few times. $750 high hand. Yeah, it'll show the total amounts, guys, on Coinbase. Matt, how you doing? Barbara, hello. Yeah, Kathleen's mom's in a facility. That's tough. JC, what's up? Well, it depends on who you're going to, Gary. I mean, I think you can get almost anything depending on timing and dealer. Yeah, I think that was Friday's. We were down 9.15, I think, on Friday. But you can look at the futures tonight or today after 3. Like I said, it was 315 down, an hour and a half before I came on. Well, listen, guys. Yeah, listen, you could melt your silver down, but then you know what it is? Once you melt that bullion coin down, now it's considered junk silver, and you're not going to get the 999 price. So don't do that. That's why you buy dimes for the smaller denominations. That's what you're going to use in a worst case scenario is your dimes. That's what those are for. And we're using dimes because those little pieces that are approximately a dime size, they're much more expensive than a dime. So buy the dimes. There's a reason. A method to my madness. Raining in New Jersey. Okay, guys. 5:55. Be positive. Remember, we have to. Our game plan is that this could go down any day. So we are pushing through the end. Every day matters. Every person matters. Every minute matters. Be positive. We've talked about this. There's some bad things are going to be revealed, and some bad people are going to be arrested and get the justice they deserve. Everything that's coming has to happen. There's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. If you're prepared, you'll thrive through this. If you're not, you might struggle. Don't struggle. Don't make your family struggle. Extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, and Litecoin. Get these things and you'll be fine. not just fine. I mean, if you can, $1,000 invested, $500 invested is going to change your life. If you can hold it for 4 years, that's the key. That's why I say get as much as you can. Because if you got the money, if you leave it in the bank, it's going to be gone. You got to get your assets out of the system. Stocks, bonds, pension funds if you can, bank accounts, money markets, annuities, anything you can take your money out of, get it out and get it into physical silver and Litecoin. You'll be glad you did. And when you're reaching out to people, the first question is, how would you like to be a part of the greatest transfer of wealth in human history? Who's going to say no to that? And then you start rolling about Litecoin and silver. It's all good, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Remember, fear not. God and President Trump are 1,000% in control. I'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.